very much, Alison. Our next speaker is Ed Davey, MP for Kingston Surbiton and Liberal Democrat Shadow Home Secretary.
Can I start by thanking you for coming today, thanking you for what you do in our country, and thank you for being here in our country. I want to say what the Liberal Democrats are doing to fight Brexit, to fight for your rights, and to fight for a proper negotiation. In terms of Brexit, for us, it's a combination of a tragedy and a catastrophe. It's a tragedy because it's about getting rid of freedoms and liberties. Freedoms and liberties of British people and European people. I thought we were about increasing people's freedoms. This is a big historical backward step. And it's a catastrophe because when you take away people's freedom, you undermine prosperity and you make people less happy. Why does anybody want to do that? That's why it's a catastrophe. So I lost my seat in 2015, but the referendum was far worse for me, personally. So when I managed to win my seat back last June, the rest of my political career is going to be guaranteed to be fighting Brexit, stopping it if we can, and reversing it if we have to. I fear it may take a little while. But when you're planning a campaign, which you think may take a few years, you have to be strategic. And I said this to the rally we had at the weekend in Parliament Square, and I want to say it to you, because it's really important. To overturn Brexit, there's going to have to be a referendum on the deal, a future referendum, a new referendum. Whenever that will come, it will come eventually. And to win that referendum, we need to change opinion in this country. We need to persuade those who voted leave why that was the wrong thing to do, and gently bring them to our side to unite the British people together on this issue. And that means when I'm talking to leave voters, and I want to encourage you to, that we reach out. That we reach out in friendship. Because many of them are very good, kind people. They're my people. And I want our country not just to be back in Europe, staying in Europe, but I want my country to be united again and not divided. So that's the challenge as we fight the European issue, because we have not given up. But what about your rights? It's all very well saying we're fighting Brexit, but actually you've got issues now, and we need to be with you now. And so when it comes to your rights, I want to be very clear. I had the real privilege and pleasure of meeting your representatives leading the British in Europe, leading the 3 Million group in Westminster with colleagues like Tom Brake and others in the Lib Dems before the summer recess. And you set out your position brilliantly. And what was so impressive is you are together. There is nothing that separates your two core leaders groups, the British in Europe, the 3 Million group, and that is fantastic. And you set out your position very clearly on the rights and the negotiations, and I want to tell you how we've responded and what we've done. I've got the Liberal Democrat position. We want to keep your rights as they were. But what about the negotiations? Well, it's really clear, the argument you make, that the negotiation for your rights should come first and be ring-fenced. That argument is absolutely right. And it's right because it's about humanity, people. I mean, we can talk about businesses and trade and so on, and of course that's really important. But you are 4.2 million people. How can we allow you to have to carry on your lives with this cloud of uncertainty? It is just wrong. So we have to move quickly on this. And actually that's the reason, not that I've just written to UK government ministers, but I've written to the Commission. Because actually the Commission needs to go to the European Council and there's 27 member states and ask for a new mandate. Because the mandate that was handed to the Commission to negotiate doesn't allow it to do the ring fencing. So we need to see movement from the Commission. And I and my Liberal Democrat colleagues are going to Brussels in 2 weeks' time, and we will make that argument on the back of the letter we have sent to them. When I was a minister in the last government, I negotiated in various European councils over 5 years, as a business minister, on the single market, on trade, and then as the Minister for Energy and Climate Change on climate change and energy. What I found as I sat around that table were 27 other ministers who were exactly like we were. And I found the process of collaboration and working together in mutual interest a very powerful one. I'm not suggesting that the EU is perfect, but boy, is it the biggest step forward in human history to have 28 member states, 28 countries round the table working together. So I've been told quite politely to shut up. But we will work together. We will work for your rights. We will work to get them concluded as soon as we can. And we will work to keep Britain in Europe. Thank you very much.